So continuing on from where we left off, I started incubating finally the Chunkingosaurus, making 3 of them, because I think at the time I was a bit confused as to how many you needed for a proper social group. I know the Huayangosaurus is very sturdy, because you only need you only need a single one for the Huayangosaurus, but the Chunkingosaurus definitely needs some more of its kin. So this is my Stegosaur exhibit right here. Again, fairly simple, but about twice bigger than the Ceratosaurus, because we're going to have a substantial number of dinosaurs in here. At least 5. So this is where we reach what I like to call the mid-game stage. And in easy mode, the mid-game stage, I think, reaches the part of the threshold where your money sort of doesn't matter anymore. And you can start spamming expeditions, grabbing up, Dig Team Charlie and Research Team Charlie to get super quick research, super quick dig sites going on. Also, you can definitely afford a lot of dinosaurs as well. So I'm modifying the Huayangosaurus genome because it's up next once these 3 Chunkingosauruses finish off. I'm definitely going to be doing, I think it was a couple of Huayangosaurus just to be safe. But also just to provide some more rating fodder. As you can see, I had okay capacity, which is easily solved.
Protecting our guests is, of course, our first priority. But our second priority is continuing to improve our security profile.
And usually,
this new contract could help us do
okay
that.
capacity
So it's important that you consider
is the trigger for you to really try to expand your park.
People are afraid of what they don't understand. But these islands, and the dinosaurs that inhabit them, can change that fear to something else. Hope. Maybe. I don't know. But the key is to get as many folks here as you can.
So I didn't really have too much of an idea of how I wanted to build this park at the beginning. I just went for a sort of straight down the line kind of walkway, connecting everything alongside it with the utilities on the right side and most of the dinosaurs on the left side. Then I was approaching the map borders in this regard, so I had to try to curve in a bit. So now I was going for the Brachiosaurus and also the Diplodocus. But yeah, very keen on making the Brachiosaurus because it's a fairly high rating. The Chukingos, very quick to produce. So also a very quick job for the ACU helicopter.
You did good.
And also I'm running through the contracts as well. And you immediately get to choose a contract immediately after you finish one, maximum 3. So it's very good money, and so far it's very easy money as well.
I know this one, an herbivore called Chunkingosaurus.
But yeah, you just have to remember to
Don't tell me scientists
keep
don't
the
have a sense of
reputation
humor.
somewhat stable to avoid sabotage. So right now I'm lacking a bit in the science, so I'm gonna try to bring that back with these 2 missions.
And the dinosaurs, then really, how tough could completing this new contract be for a person of your talents?
En route to pick up the asset.
Adding task.
So here's just a bit of micromanagement. Trying to get the Chunkingos into the proper exhibit.
En route to collect the asset.
And at the same time, just have to have quick fingers to be super efficient and start incubating your Huayangosaurus. And here, I swapped to the step pattern. No real reason. Thought I'd just have a different looking visual aesthetic instead of just spamming the incubate button and having 2 of the same Huayangosaurus. Why not spice it up? They're all going to come out the same rating anyway, because aesthetic skins only have a set rating number. There's no more popular skin per se. So yeah, loads more ambers. So I definitely think by now So when I started to realize it's probably skewed in favor of the easy difficulty to easily get ambers. You shouldn't be getting this, especially not in my campaign playthrough. I definitely didn't get that many,
If you don't tell me,
that much amber. It's usually about 2 or 3. 3 if I'm lucky per dinosaur, but
Make the right one.
I'm getting like 4 or 5 here. So yeah, I went for the Styracosaurus. Not sure about that. I really was trying to search for carnivores, but I already had the Baryonyx and the Metricanthrosaurus researched. And the late game carnivores don't come until, well, later, so... And I had a bunch of money, and also didn't really have much idea on things to research, so just randomly, for completeness sake, went for the Styracosaurus. So the Huayangsaurus is done as well, again, very quick.
Setting additional task.
So this should bring up, by now, my rating to 3
Asset
stars.
transportation complete.
So it's been about an hour and 5 minutes, and we've reached 3 stars.
Ah, the
So pretty much on
Huayangsaurus.
track for
Another
under
member
2
of
hour
the
run.
Stegosaurians.
So yeah, we're going back and forth, trying to get the Metricanthrosaurus,
Watching you work? Now that's what I call an
and
entertainment.
trying to get the Brachiosaurus as well.
Adding to the list.
Acknowledging asset collection request.
You go for some
3
more
words.
science.
Contract you, yes.
And yeah, every 5 minutes you should keep a meter on your guests, because they are 1/2 of your road to 5 stars, your guest satisfaction. By now I realized that I really need to max out the stuff on all my buildings.
What you've been able to accomplish, we can advance our work.
Pop
here
down
in
an
the science
arcade,
station.
min-maxing that, maximize space.
Our existence is the constant evaluation of threats and opportunities.
Also a toy shop.
This looks like a good opportunity.
Just enough space, I think. No, I went for a fast food instead.
When it comes to training dinosaurs, I'm not gonna lie, money helps.
Heading to collect the asset.
Alright, so that's all our Stegosaurs done. The Huayangosaurus and the Chukingo. That's the only ones I really went for. This is a feeder resupply run. And with loads of money I realized I could just build another ranger team. I went for scheduling. I feel like scheduling is a bit underrated. I feel like more people need to go for ranger and ACU scheduling, especially for higher difficulties when you start having breakouts and stuff. And you start needing to micromanage more, and especially tornadoes. Scheduling helps a lot with tornadoes,
Asset transported.
because they go through and they destroy a whole bunch of stuff that you really need to get fixed straight away. And if you're micromanaging 2 or 3 ranger teams, it can have a toll on your micromanagement. You want to be super efficient.
Asset in transit.
Upgrading a medium power station, because why not? Got some spare money. 6.5 mil. So now these slots open, so I set them as well. Went for about 2 each, which would give the ACU and Ranger Station, respectively, 2 more.
Control reassigned.
2 more tasks to
Adding
be
to the
scheduled.
list. Confirming asset delivery.
With these improvements to your park rating, you really are making a name for yourself.
As you can see, once you plop down
What's your name again?
any building at this stage, it almost maxes out. If it's a guest need that needs satisfying, then it will max out straight away, because my capacity is very high. So as you can see at the bottom right, we're just creeping into the 4-star zone, about 3.2 or 3.1. So making steady progress, but definitely about to accelerate soon.
You never let your foot off the gas until that contract
So yeah,
crossed the
capacity,
finish line.
you always want to maintain your facility rating as 5 stars, because it's by far the easiest to maintain at 5 stars. So you want to keep balancing that and try not to have it below 4 stars. So here I decided I need to expand. So I need to cut down forests and first of all flatten. So obviously every time you need to expand to a new area you need to flatten the terrain. Unless you want future terrain constraint issues, which is a big problem with this game, but also a big problem with this map because the map starts off with some lakes and very uneven terrain. So this hotel, fairly obvious placement. I wanted to keep them very, very close to the exhibits so that they can extend their maximum viewing range. As you can see, all my 3 hotels have some sort of viewing range. The one on the bottom right there it's a bit weird because it's only seeing into the baryonyx right now, but as you can tell, my intentions to build future exhibits is obviously around that area, so you'll be fixed soon enough. You just have to do some mental planning, I guess, for your hotel placements, because your hotel is a big part of your dinosaur visibility. And dinosaur visibility is pretty much easy marks for the 5-star rating. So I realized I was a bit inactive here for dig site running. Could have been a bit quicker. Could have had Brachiosaurus to like 100% now, but I was a bit distracted. Research just went for the last 2 buildings. So yeah, the 3 visitor centers, the innovation, security, and science centers. I did not experiment with them in this run. I'm still unsure about their effectiveness. They do provide a lot of money, but the thing is, I feel like by the time you reach this stage of the game, when your money is almost uncontrollable and almost indefinite, it kind of doesn't make sense. That was my thinking, but it might change according to high difficulty settings. And obviously every time you plop down a hotel, you're going to get hit by a huge guest satisfaction deduction, because obviously your park now sustains 3,000 more people roughly, so you need to have the restaurants and the buildings to cater for it. So as you can see, I needed to max out my fast food, even though I had like 2 fast foods already and another restaurant in the vicinity. I need to max everything out. So yeah, maintaining expeditions. Still trying to get the Brachio to be done. I actually didn't really understand the point now in retrospect of the Brachiosaurus trying to get it to 100%, because yeah, I mean, they have a very long base lifespan, so, and we're approaching the late game stage, so we really don't need the Brachiosaurus for long. So I think that is another considerment for... It does boost the rating, of course, if you want a higher authenticity, but I think, yeah, someone has to calculate that. The trade-off between genome percentage and lifespan. So yeah, decided to research some of the more fairly common traits. Except bone density. I don't know why I researched bone density, that was a bit weird. I never used bone density. Just fitting another closed shop. So yeah, so now we've unlocked the holocanthus that appears in the baryonyx stage. So I was just checking the map to see what's new. So we're about the final tick, second last tick of all the dinosaur unlocks, which I believe Tyrannosaurus gets also made available. And Tyrannosaurus is by far one of the highest rating carnivores in the game, and you really want at least one Tyrannosaurus in your park to try to get that 5-star.
Sometimes, to get all the things we want, we have to be willing to pay a little more. That's true of our operations here as well.
So you can see the Hammond Foundation fee was 533k, which is peanuts at this stage of the game. This is my construction of my Brachiosaurus exhibit. So I decided to do an L shape connecting with the hatchery. And of course Brachiosaurus loves lots of forest, so decided to give it that forest treatment. In building this exhibit the way it is, I definitely need the viewing tower, because that's the only one that can really project. And I made a mistake here. I made a mistake by putting the feeding tower all the way inside the exhibit, when I should be putting it much closer to where the viewing tower is, so I can actually attach another viewing vent and increase dinosaur visibility. So yeah, that was a mistake on my part, which I fixed later, but you always want, it doesn't really matter about anything else rather than just putting all your feeders next to the fences where your visitors will be interacting with. So there's actually really no point in putting it anywhere else. You want your dinosaurs as close as possible to the guests. So this is my Metricanvosaurus.
No problem.
So you can see it helps a lot to have hatchery capacity, so you can do these sort of things. And I kind of jumped the gun here, and I've already incubated the Metricanvosaurus before I even built its exhibit. But
Okay. Dr. Dua tells me that this dinosaur of yours, the Metriacanthosaurus, is a bit of a mystery.
But by the time the
Maybe we can learn more
ACU
about
finishes
it as a
tranquilizing
result of
them,
your work.
you know, it's already ready for transportation anyway. So, especially if you're building really rough exhibits like this. So yeah, this is my Metricanvosaurus exhibit that's going to be right behind the hotel. So that's another, I would say, smart positioning. At least try to be smart positioning. And once I put the viewing vent down, it pretty much covers, with the hotel, it pretty much covers the entire exhibit. So that's some great dinosaur visibility rating right there. And just in time, ready to transport.
Heading to pick up the asset.
So that's Metricanvosaurus done. That's another carnivore for the works. As you can see, I've reached great variety for dinosaurs already.
If you can complete this contract, I can
okay,
see good
welfare.
things in your future.
It's because
If you
I think it
fail, I
was
see me in your future.
the combination of the Metricanvosaurus being tranquilized. Yeah,
Monitor any transactions the way you would monitor the dinosaurs, and we'll be fine. But lose this deal, and you're going to have to deal with me.
Yeah, and there was also this Huayangosaurus, that's right. The Huayangosaurus had needed more forest, so decided to pop a bit of trees there to bring it back. So those two problems combined took a hit, minus 154 to the welfare rating, but that's fine, it's easily fixable. Resets in a bit. After that, resets should be reaching very close to 4-star range. So we got some Dilophosaurus. I decided to try to finish the Zilliaging formation for completeness sake, and also to try to get the Dilophosaurus, which also helps because it's got good ratings. So I forgot to attach power to this area. So we're getting ready to introduce our Brachiosaurus here. So yeah, still got that welfare penalty, but variety's great. Now we just need to improve on it. Even though we get a 5-star rating for variety, it still gets impacted by dinosaur variety, so the more the merrier is essentially what it's trying to say. And here I've reached a kind of very great equilibrium state with the guest satisfaction. None of the guest satisfactions in any of the buildings were below the medium, which is great. So here I started worrying less about profits and trying to satisfy as many customers as I can. So profits are meaningless at this stage now, since I'm making so much dosh. You should generally just try to push it down to try to satisfy as many customers as possible while making some profit. So I think that's the ideal late game. So some more genetic research. Decided to terminate this contract because it's probably never going to do it. And Brachiosaurus almost done.
Ah, you did it. Congratulations to us both.
Here's when I realized my mistake, that I really should be putting the tower much closer to the viewing vent.
I like this contract. You should too.
Carnivore fossil, very easy. And here come the Brachios.
Looks like there's another contract that might be worth your attention.
So now I'm 3.5 stars, which is a great territory.
You met the objectives and secured a victory. I was expecting no less.
So as you can see here, everything is great,
Oh, a Brachiosaurus.
but
Wonderful.
the dinosaurs
Our guests enjoy the large
still a bit blue,
dinosaurs.
so there's 17 dinosaurs value, so you want to raise that, because otherwise the variety and the welfare are
It's a
great.
balancing act. I get it. We all do.
Now we pretty much reached
The point is, you
4
need to
stars,
provide
so
the right amount of space for your dinosaur.
I think it's pretty
This
easy
small
to reach.
enclosure ain't cut
Once you reach 3 stars, I think it's pretty easy to get the last 2 stars. I think it's the struggle is the first 3 stars.
See, this is what we need more of around here. You see an opportunity and you seize it. Cheers.
So here I tried to do the photograph a dinosaur feed, eating from a feeder. I thought it'd be decently easy due to the Triceratops and the Edmontosaurus feeding from that feeder. Let's see if I could sneak a quick shot in.
Feeding resupply.
But turns out none of them were hungry, so I missed my window.
Did you get it?
So yeah, ranger photographs also a good way for some quick money.
Check this out. A new contract that I think you're really gonna like.
So I decided to delete that contract. So I missed my window and I couldn't be bothered finishing it off. So here I'm having capacity issues again, and when you reach this late in the game, the capacity actually matters a lot. And also you need to be able to fit a lot of hotels, because capacity will only go up exponentially. I feel more and more people are just going to be arriving in your park.
Contract that I want you to consider.
So you need to have planning space in order to have a good margin of future hotels. And I'm not sure what really was going on here. I couldn't fit this hotel in. But just able to sneak it right in there. Again, there was some terrain constraints, and that's probably has to do with the viewing tower. Got some food issues, but no drink issues. So everything else is fine except for food, so decided to put down a bowling alley. Here's the Hammond Foundation fee again. It's rise to 600,000 now. So again, not that meaningful since I'm pretty much reaching $10 million mark now. And here I realized the Tyrannosaurus got unlocked. So now I'm trying to get the Tyrannosaurus. And fortunately, the Tyrannosaurus appears at 3 sites in the game. Unfortunately, the Tyrannosaurus appears with a whole host of other dinosaurs. I think it's the Laramie formation where it's only with the Torosaurus. And that's a great formation to get Tyrannosaurus fossils, but yeah, the other 2 formations are filled with all sorts of late Cretaceous creatures, so it's going to be a hard time trying to get Tyrannosaurus. In saying that though, if you have 3 dig sites on them constantly, you're going to get Tyrannosaurus 100% real soon anyway. So here I saw, I think it was dinosaur visibility, yeah. It was at 92%, which I'm still having trouble how this is calculated, because I see that all my dinosaurs are inside the zone, except for maybe the baryonyx over there, but so 92%, it's a bit unintuitive. I'm not sure if it's all the dinosaurs have to be part of the zone or not, or if it's just the potential zone, the potential viewing area, which means that you essentially have to try to cover your entire exhibit, right? So Dilophosaurus genome is 100% and ready for incubation. So I've got my last slot, and hyper efficient blood is a one I heavily use a lot. So that brings it up to like 159 lifespan, which is great. So make 3 of those. Like the Velociraptors, the Dilophosaurus needs a couple of friends. Here I'm researching, I think by far this is the most redundant research, which is skins, right? And I think there is an argument for it, which is that most dinosaurs have different types of skins, so you want to unlock them all, so you can have at least 1 skin for every dinosaur.
Take the contract.
But at the same time, I think they're very redundant.
For both of us.
At least it should never be your priority to research. So here I plopped down, I had a bit of space, so I plopped down another viewing platform with the hopes that this viewing platform can see past the Ceratosaurus and possibly slightly into the Stegosaur exhibit and the Brachiosaur exhibit. Which it didn't, but it saw slightly into the Stegosaur exhibit, I think, to provide some potential dinosaur visibility. And I decided to boost this up further, because I was trying to get 100% dinosaur visibility, right? But I just kept sitting around 99%, so I'm not exactly sure how you complete that mission. I ended up having to cancel it anyway. It's a very weird mission for sure. So you gotta deforest this area a bit. So the Brachiosaurus are now hanging around the viewing platform, which is great. And that's obviously has to do with your water placement and your feeding tower placement. So even though we've given this all this huge roam to land, huge land to roam around, sorry, they're generally going to stay around that area.
For you to observe our magnificent creatures.
So bowling alley to max capacity. I needed to pop down a restaurant because I still haven't alleviated that food demand. So this is where I was very perplexed, because I had all my dinosaurs covered by all the rings now. all the viewing rings, so I was stuck at 99, 98%. Never could reach 100%. Not really sure how to do that. So the free Dilophosaurus already, but I've yet to make an exhibit for them. So I was just going to attach it to the existing Metric Canvasaurus exhibit and just do a pretty much a continuation of it. Because I am reaching sort of the lower bounds limits of the map. So some more electric fencing, which since I'm already at major output, I decided to just plug in... oh no, I actually plugged in the improved output 2.0 when I researched it. So yeah, that got me through temporarily for a bit. But I think definitely need to start considering a new power station, which I did. Put down a medium power station, and luckily I could fit it right here. This is a nice space to have. It's a fairly substantial park now, but pretty decent 4-star park. But still, loads more improvement and efficiency, things that could have made it much faster. But here come the Dilophosaurus, and got the exhibit ready and everything. So hopefully it should boost our rating. As you can see, I already just made one, bottom right.
New research and dig sites are now available.
I only made one Dilophosaurus, and it ticked up to like 4.1 rating.
I mean, definitely.
And which means I unlocked the final plethora of unlocks.
The Dilophosaurus lacks front-facing binocular eyes, a trait common to almost every predator. So instead, it hunted by scent. And now, many predators rely on that sense as well.
I also got a sick dinosaur too, you know where it was.
Asset to be collected.
Yeah, now it's a bit of a long trek to get to
Thanks for helping
exhibits
create
now.
entertainment.
Acknowledging asset collection request. En route to collect the asset.
Yo, it's your buddy Isaac here, and have I got something for you. And by something, I mean an offer for you to do something for me. Sounds good, right?
So just popping down an emergency shelter. Never had to use an emergency shelter in this game, so they were kind of pointless, but for the mission's sake.
Asset transportation in progress.
I had a sick Edmontosaurus. Oh, that's fine. Dealt with fairly quickly. And I think I should have gone for the Dig Team Bravo and Research Team. Sorry, Dig Team Charlie and Research Team Charlie much quicker than this. Yeah, late game should have much more options available instead of delaying like that. But
Quality comes at a price. And that price is an increase in the percentage you share with the Hammond Foundation. Oh yeah.
so now it's 650,000 roughly Hammond Foundation fee,
Alright, this is what I'm
which is
talking
still
about.
barely a dent in my economy. So now, yeah, this is truly late game now. We're trying to finish our last star.
That I think will be beneficial for the
And
science station.
economy is meaningless. Reputation is also pretty meaningless. I do have to be a bit careful about the security division slipping there, but that's fine.
It's not only the dinosaurs that are alive here.
I just need to maintain my
facility itself is a
5-star
kind of
facility
organism.
rating, which
It
I'm
needs to grow.
doing here
Nurture.
by building those 4 that new visitor area. Welfare took a hit. That's probably because of the disease and also transporting 3 Dilophosaurus, which are a bit unhappy. That's fine. And I definitely should have gone with this way quicker to try to get the Tyrannosaurus. But as you can see, I'm doing that and I'm getting a lot of Sticky Molochs, I'm getting a lot of Taurosaurus. And here I've unlocked the Suchomimus and the Majungasaurus. I've decided to go...
Why was I ever worried? Of course you
So I cancelled that and I went for the Carnotaurus
And you
instead.
have.
Alright. Part of me thought that the Majungasaurus actually has a lower rating than the Carnotaurus. I don't think that's true. It could be true, but... I think in the heat of the moment I decided to go for Carnotaurus. Because I never made a Carnotaurus in the game as well. Like, actually have never produced one. So I wanted some semblance of a profit, but profit was meaningless for me. So I'm already at 4.2, 4.3 stars. It's just the dinosaur rating that needs to pop up, and
I can't order you to take
a couple
this
more
new
carnivores
contract,
will definitely help
but I
out.
wish I could.
Which is why I'm going
It's
for the
that
T-Rex,
good.
I'm going for the Suchomimus and the Majungasaurus and the Carnotaurus. And also you unlock the Spinosaurus at this stage as well, which is another key thing. So yeah, I'm pretty much tunnel visioning, trying to get the Tyrannosaurus up. And finally I got my first fossil for it, which is an amber, which is great, but could be a lot quicker if I was on this a lot quicker. So here I decided to go for Dig Team Charlie, which took me a while, but finally got to it. Should have done it a lot sooner, especially because the cost doesn't matter, right? Like I should have got it probably 30 minutes ago. Try to get dig sites way quicker. So I think that does increase the priority of trying to afford, because you're trying to get the dig team Bravo and Charlie straight up real quick, so you can just spam fossils and get those high rating dinosaurs out very quickly. So dig team Charlie's out. I was just checking. Make sure all my buildings are maxed out, and this one wasn't, so I maxed it out. So now I've got 3 dig sites. Decided to use one for the Carnotaurus down below in South America. Now I'm getting a steady stream of T-Rex fossils because I have 2 dig sites on them. So I got 2 dig sites in North America trying to get T-Rex, and 1 dig team for the only dig site in South America to try to get the Carnotaurus. Yeah, this is the downside of not maxing out 100% genome early. It's because you can get bogged down by those genomes again in the late game. So you had to deal with some Triceratops genomes, which is arguably my lowest priority genome that I wanted.
I see that genome contract went as planned. Good job.
I decided to go for the Ankylosaurus here, just to help boost the ratings a bit. I got some spare money I got some spare incubation slots, and I have a spare herbivore exhibit right next to them with the Mantosaurus and Triceratops.
I'm sure you'll rise to the challenge.
Decided to try to just make some extra dinosaurs just to speed things up a bit, because yeah, I'm at 4.2. I really only need like a small edge. So immediately going back for the Carnotaurus. So yeah, I'm trying to finish the Torosaurus, but I'm just extracting everything, because why not? So yeah, it's a bit hard trying to get Tyrannosaurus, because you go for that Torosaurus, Tyrannosaurus, I think it was the Frenchman actually. Frenchman formation with the Torosaurus and the Tyrannosaurus. It turns out you just get blasted with Torosaurus fossils until you don't actually finish anything. Until you don't actually get any Tyrannosaurus. So you have to complete pretty much the complete Torosaurus genome until you start feeding in Tyrannosaurus, which is unfortunate. But for an understated site, I think it kind of makes sense for balancing reasons. So I really needed to get success rate up, because I was about to produce a lot of low viability carnivores. They're about to get huge genetic modifications. So here I decided to expand the herbivore exhibit a little bit, just to give some extra running space for the Ankylosaurus when it was about to join. Note that this will have an impact on my dinosaur visibility, because I only have an adjacent viewing tower. So what I did was made some extra space so I could fit in a viewing tower. The viewing tower obviously does not cover the entire exhibit, because I did enlarge it fairly heavily, but it does improve your dinosaur visibility for a bit. So you always want to be on top of that. You always want to maintain that 5-star rating for facilities at least. Also added another herbivore feeder since we get accommodating up to 6 herbivores now. Made 2 Ankies, and they're about to join the herbivores. So returning back, trying to get Carnotaurus, trying to get Tyrannosaurus Rex. I got pretty lucky with ambers there. So that's like 2 or 3 ambers now for the Tyrannosaurus. So now I went for the final one, which is research cost. Yeah, which I cancelled for the research team. So I can get free research team, so I can spam everything. So went ahead and got the Allosaurus and the Majungasaurus, just to have some more carnivore options. But I already see the end game, right? So I'm 4.5 stars now, and definitely see the end game now. And that's the only way, is just to have 1 more or 2 more carnivores. And here I dropped my ratings down immensely. Not sure why. It's probably just some glitches.
Task received.
Or the yeah. Now reset back. That's fine. It was just a power issue maybe. So just needed probably 2 or 3 more dinosaurs, carnivores, just to bring that rating up, and we're almost done. So I decided to start cancelling these, because I realised that there was no way I'm going to need Torosaurus in my park. And Pachycephalosaurus and Stygimoloch for that matter, so I decided to just ignore them and try to gun for the Tyrannosaurus again. Now I'm putting on research speed so I can blast through this research. And most of the late game research consists of just upgrading that final, upgrading power and upgrading the final Hammond Creation Lab upgrades. So upgrading into success rate 3.0 and incubation speed 3.0. Those would help a lot. So yeah, this is where I do that. Waiting for the large substation power to finish, and got that on. Back to trying to get the Tyrannosaurus, but fairly unlucky with that sight there. I keep getting Torosaurus from there. So now the Hammond Creation fee is just shy of 700k. And the longer this game goes on, the higher the Hammond Creation fee. So theoretically, if you leave it too long, the Hammond Creation fee can actually reach a point where it actually takes huge chunks out of the economy. But it's pretty much a race against the clock now. Try to get the fastest time as possible. And to be honest, I could have just actually bit the bullet and went for a Tyrannosaurus straight away with like 51% viability. If I had another dinosaur to back it up. Like a Carnotaurus ready or something. So this is going to be my Tyrannosaurus exhibit. Just decided to build it right below. I realized I didn't really need any more dinosaurs. And this is my first tropical storm. It wasn't a twister, but it was just a storm. It did some damage, and it does cause some comfort unrest to all the dinosaur citizens. Also some structural damage. So modifying the T-Rex genome. And I didn't decide to incubate yet, because I needed to upgrade to the 2.0s first. Otherwise the viability was really low, it was 35%. So a plus 2 times 20 increase to get to 75% is should be fairly helpful. 75% is doable.
En route. Task received. Adding task.
Just got some Velociraptors banging the fence. That had to do with the recent storm. Nothing major. Actually, it was the Dilophosaurus that was banging the fence. Loads of Rex fossils. So I got those final 2 upgrades, even though they're not technically in for the current incubating Tyrannosaurus, but that was fine. So now I'm having capacity issues again, see. You always need to watch it. Even though I'm maintaining 5 facility rating, it's not going to go on for long, especially once I start making a new dinosaur. Because once you make new dinosaurs, the capacity levels tend to get activated, and then you need to build another hotel, definitely. So that was in the back of my mind. Getting ready for a new hotel, potential new hotel. So now that I got Carnotaurus, I think I decided to extract these last, and then incubate the Carnotaurus, try to get it out quickly as well. And my deduction was that I think once the T-Rex and the Carnotaurus release, even though they're not full genome, they're not full genome, 77 and 74% respectively, should have enough left in the tank to reach 5 stars. So that was my deduction. But also I am pumping them with an aesthetic skin and as many genome modifications as possible. Yeah, starting to incubate that now. Make sure I had the 3.0 Hammond Creation Lab upgrades first before I did that. And flattening the terrain again. Some future space. And this is where I made the mistake of closing the gap, so I didn't have any more room to expand, because if you remember what I said, I had in the back of my mind I needed another hotel because I was reaching okay capacity. I needed to upgrade that. Even though before it was fine, I still maintained the 5-star rating. I really need another hotel. Here I went for the Suchomimus and Majunga, and also the Spinosaurus. So all the African carnivores. But then again, those just for sort of completeness sake, or kind of like a backup plan if my deduction failed. I was doing some last minute welfare checking. See if everything was at 100% comfort levels and whatnot. And here I'm kind of willy-nilly just trying to unlock things. Transport's interesting because I never needed to alleviate transport. I think it went down to as low as 77% by the game's end. And I think definitely when you build much bigger parks, you will need to alleviate transport. And thus, you need to have the foresight to have space for monorails. But in this run, I never touched the monorail, and I think it was fine. So here's my T-Rex, which, as you can see, immediately bumps up the rating to 4.67. And this is when I realized I definitely could finish with just the Carnotaurus that was currently incubating. So I decided to extract some Spinosaurus and some Majungasaurus DNA in the meantime, and Suchomimus. But yeah, pretty much the last stretch of the leg here.
Ah, yes, the tyrant lizard, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Favorite of early century fiction writers and adolescent children everywhere. And why? Because it represents everything that we fear about the past. It's what we believe that we've conquered, even though it ceased to exist before humanity had reached the proto-ape stage. And that was true. Until now. Until you.
So here, just some more willy-nilly researching.
That contract is accomplished because of you.
So the research contract's pretty pointless now. Just waiting on that Carnotaurus. So yeah, definitely could have sped up this part of the game. Definitely could have reached 5 stars sooner.
Asset has been.
If I was focusing a bit more and did more micromanagement, try to get the Carnotaurus and the T-Rex out sooner. But food for thought for later. Here we go. Carnotaurus is out.
Acknowledged.
Already got an exhibit for that for everything, so
I know you're busy.
just needed to get it inside the
This
exhibit.
opportunity is just too good to pass up.
As you can see,
This carnivore, the Carnotaurus, was first discovered in Argentina.
oh yeah, I forgot to get
The
the
name means meat-eating bull.
feeder for the
As
T-Rex.
if a regular bull wasn't bad enough.
Heading to pick up the asset.
And here I was expecting to get 5 stars right about somewhere now, but I was like, didn't tick yet. So he wanted more grassland, so just gonna give him that. Trying to improve his welfare.
Transportation underway.
So you can see the facility rating actually went down a tiny smidgen, and that was unrecoverable until I had to build a hotel. So I was trying to find a place to put it, and I was like, oh damn, needed to put it right there. So yeah, I decided to plop it down and destroy part of the fences to open up a pathway. Make sure it's aligned so that it's, you know, maximize the dinosaur visibility one last time.
Delivery complete.
Carnotaurus is now free and roaming. Had some power issues, but luckily I already researched to improve output. Just pumped a bit of those. And I'm on like 4.9 stars now. Just need a bit more. Pending that hotel construction. And once this was done, I secured 5 stars pretty much. So yeah, just needed the capacity now. So you can see my dinosaur rating was 5 stars. With 25 dinosaurs, 5 stars. So it's a good scaling indication there. But once I reached that, just waiting for the next tick, and there we go.
You've done it. Reach the top.
So we got 5 stars.
The pinnacle.
In 1 hour 54 seconds, you unlock the jungle pattern. Of course, on the first time finish. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you guys for maybe another speedrun.